Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Beastly Eel. And in today's video we're going to be talking about Season 2 of the Caped Crusader Batman. So overall I thought this season went pretty well. I also liked that it was an overarching story for the most part, which I was not expecting because in Season 1 it was kind of just snippet stories. And although we had a little bit of that for the most part, they were all connected through the theme of the Joker. Excuse me, the Joker. So the villains that we saw here were the Rocketeer, or Rita Rocket, I think is how I think her name was. Um, we had Riddler, we had Mad Hatter, we had, give me a minute, Poison Ivy, we had Spectre. What else am I missing? Give me a minute. There's a lot. I know I'm missing a bunch of them. Oh, we had was it Falcone? He was the mob leader, and I can't think of his name now, and that's gonna bother the hell out of me. And then we had obviously the Joker. Oh, and Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn, Scarecrow, and those are the only ones that are ringing in my head right now. So, those were the main ones, obviously. A lot of these characters are much different than what we're used to, especially the Joker and the Riddler. The Riddler was the only one whose adaptation I wasn't a huge fan of, because he was basically just a mobster um, who just wanted to be, like, well known, which I thought was kind of weird. So like that was like the big thing that I just had a problem with on that sense. That and the fact that in this season Batman allowed a lot of people just die. Oh, Mr. Freeze. I knew I forgot another one. So yeah, and Mr. Freeze as well. He let a lot of people just die. Like he didn't kill them himself technically, although one he did. I'll argue that he did because he threw him into an ice, like the liquid nitrogen, I believe, is what it's supposed to be. And he threw the guy in there. So there's a little bit of that, which I thought was interesting. Oh, and Hugo Strange was also in this as well, but very quickly. Like I said, there were a lot of people who were killed off in this, which I was kind of surprised about, that they kill off a lot of villains. So Joker killed Hugo Strange, the Mad Hatter, the mob boss. Riddler gets killed by Poison Ivy, which that one made sense, to be honest with you. And those like were the main ones that had passed. Like I said, I was just very surprised about all the death that were in this, just because of like their. I mean, I know understand Batman has a lot of villains and characters in general, which you could run out rather quickly. Um, but yeah, so there was, like I said, a lot of death in general. And like I said, the Joker's adaptation I thought was really cool because it paid homage to the original inspiration of the Joker, which was I forget if it was a German character or if it was like a character in a German either movie or show. But that was like the original inspiration for the Joker, and they paid homage to it by having a German. At least I can't say he's a German actor, although he might be. But he definitely had a German accent for sure. And he was also calm, which was, I think, the most terrifying piece of the whole thing. Harley Quinn also helping out against Scarecrow, which I thought was really cool. We got to see, like I said, we got to see a lot in this completely, like a lot more than I was expecting in a good way. Um, so yeah, we definitely got to see a lot of just the typical like Batman the animated series stuff, like him going in, investigating, figuring out what's going on, and then most of the times things weren't the way that they seemed, which happened a lot. We did have two, well, we had one real supernatural thing, which was the Spectre, who would just randomly be able to kill people with just looking at them. Um, However, there was like the idea of Barbados, which is the demon bat god, who the cult obviously was, although it was a real cult, meaning like they really did believe that stuff, the leader made it all up so his followers would do what he says, which I thought was very interesting in and of itself. We also got to see obviously Commissioner Gordon, the mayor getting himself into a lot of trouble as well because he's not, well, he's corrupt, just like most people. Um, we had a little bit more Bruce Wayne getting involved in his company this season. Granted, just for Batman stuff, which I thought was interesting, and Lucius Fox just being like, "This doesn't seem right." Um, and a lot of twists and turns where it's like they made you think who the villain was, and then they kind of twisted it around to really show who the actual villain was, which I thought was kind of cool. Like Poison Ivy having multiple personality disorder, I thought was cool. Um, or dissociated personality disorder, I think is what it's called now. And then you had um, well, who's the other one? Well, Scarecrow was just looking for a way to scare people, which I thought was hilarious. Which is typical Scarecrow. And of course, he has the typical plague mask, which I thought was really cool. That was a cool design in general. And then what else? We got to see a lot of, like I said, a lot of the cool stuff. Oh, Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze was definitely an interesting character, mostly because of the fact that, as I knock everything over, it was an interesting one because he was named Mr. Zero, which I did not know was his original character name in the comics when he first debuted. So I thought that was kind of cool because we're paying homage to, I think, the 30s, which is roughly around the time when Batman was first introduced into the world as a comic book character. So it's kind of cool seeing all of these characters kind of be reintroduced as if they're from that time, but also as if they're a brand new character, even though we know them all, which I thought was kind of cool. But yes, definitely seeing all of that was excellent. We get to see a lot of transmutation in the sense of like people turning into like creatures this season, which I thought was kind of cool. Which also makes me think we're going to be leading to Bane in the future. There's a couple of times I thought we were going to be getting Bane, or even someone Grundy at certain points as well, just because of the way they were going. But no, they did not. So the big ending was Joker planned everything out to a T to not so much all the little stuff, but definitely the big stuff. So like he purposely got um, some of the serums that Hugo Strange was working on, then worked with, or then removed him from existence. Then took a bunch of other things from people as well, and kind of built upon like their not their programming, but like their viruses or formulas, I guess I would say, in creating his ultimate project, which was anybody who died of his toxin, his laughing toxin, as we know it. I forget what it was. I don't think it actually had a name in the show. They were then utilized as dispensers to create the gas inside of them, release it, and cause mindless, monstrous creatures um, to cause basically like massive like titans like titan creatures from like the Arkham series, like those types of creatures, but also zombies. So when they bit people, they infected others as well and let it spread. Um, Alfred got infected as well, which then led to Batman having to cure him. Um, and then obviously our friend Pennyworth um, finished the cure and took the the bat jet out and used the what's it called the anti serum, and when it took it out all across the entire Gotham City, which saved everyone. And Joker was impaled by a pipe, let's say, and because of that, he then falls into the toxin, I guess you'd say, that's on like the mist or whatever you want to call it, that was on the ground level, and we don't actually see him die. I say it that way because we don't know if they actually die or not. Another character that was shown as well is the female Robin, Kelly, which I thought was kind of cool as well. We got a little bit more about her. We got more about Bullock and who's the other guy? I can't remember now. But either way, like we got to see a lot of those characters kind of develop in the sense of even in the poor way, meaning like they've gone down even further, but kind of have a better understanding of what was going on. We also get to see Barbara Gordon deal with her demons, along with Commissioner Gordon. Really didn't have to deal with as much. I felt like his character design was not as um, flushed out this season, I guess you'd say. Like he still wanted to protect his daughter and protect Gotham, and like also not rely on Batman because he is. he wants to make sure that this is done by the book, which I thought was really cool as well. Also, we got to see the design of him like sketching the bat signal, which also will lead us into most likely seeing that in season three if it comes out. So I'm very curious to see where season three goes. The reason why I say that is because it really didn't give us a after credit scene. You know what I'm saying? So we really didn't get an understanding of like what could be. But I'll be very interested to see what could happen. Just because there's a lot of characters that still exist in the universe right now. Um, and a lot of characters who have not been introduced yet. So I'll be very interested to see how they grow and everything else. But for now, let me know what you guys thought about this season down in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you not? And why? And as always, if you like the content you see, please make sure to like and subscribe down below. Other than that, this is going to be Beastly Eel signing out. Have a wonderful night. Bye bye.